Hey kids! Welcome to Hey Kids, Let's Make a Movie! That's right, this is where you, the up-and-coming 21st centuries, are going to teach us how to make movies. But you know what? Before you learn, we've got to learn. That's right, and we had to learn when we were learning. Does that make, of course that makes sense. But right now, let's say that you're learning. You're teaching your parents all the time. You know, they're learning quite a lot from you. So let's just sit back right now and learn what it's learning about. Time to learn the movies, the movie industry. All about the movie industry. And it's a large industry. There are so many things to do in this industry. It's absolutely incredible. There are jobs for everyone. Anyone from the neonate to the young at heart is more than welcome. And Susie, I see you're back. And Billy, you thought about not tuning in today, but you're back, and we're so happy you are. Everybody else, this is really a wonderful thing that you will give me a chance to tell you about my unending expertise. Now, you remember our motto? Why go to a parade when you can be in the parade? That's right. You don't have to stand by the sidelines, although we do need an audience, because what is a movie without an audience? It would be stupid. But let's say that you like to do props. Let's say that you like to write scripts. You don't like to hit your head on the cement, so you're not going to be a stuntman. You like to sit indoors and read. Well, this is perfect for you because you can write scripts. You can pick out scripts that you think are going to be really blockbusters in the years ahead. And now you can think about acting. Maybe you wanted to be an actor. Maybe you'd rather tell people what to do and be a director. Well, you can do that because it's your movie. That's right. Perhaps you like to sew. We need clothes. Pretty nice, huh? And we need all the things. We even need to eat when we're on the set. It's so important to keep your body physically fit, and we're going to find out more about that later. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Professor Blake Bloomer. I have a PhD in epic filmmaking. I've gone to many schools and learned basically the biggest school I've ever went to was the School of Hard Knocks, and I learned a lot there. So tell you what, you are geniuses. Oh, sometimes your parents think you don't look like a genius, but that brain in there, it works the same size, it's the same kind as your parents have. And all you got to do is have a little positive attitude, that's all. If somebody says, oh, I don't think you can really do that, you've got to go, I want to do it, therefore I can. We want to unleash the creativity in you, expand upon your consciousness, create, be, and live to your fullest. The movies are a good way to do that because they give you an opportunity to show your stuff. And everybody likes a good movie. I would think that's probably true because if they didn't, how many movies would be made? Not many. So, take a grip, get a grip, be a grip. We're going to talk about being a grip later in one of these shows coming up. But right now, we want you to unlock the genius that's within you. And, well, you know what? We've got an exciting show for you today. It's one that just makes me shudder with joy. And first of all, what we're going to do, I'm glad you asked. What are we first going to do? We are going to have a PSA. That's right, a public service announcement. And then we're coming back with our special guests, our friends.
In 1872, J. Sterling Morton gave the world a great idea.
Plant a tree, trees for America.
He created a holiday unlike any other, Arbor Day.
Taste the breezes, life inside you, make a promise to the earth.
This is the 125th anniversary of Arbor Day, the tree planters' holiday. This year, the National Arbor Day Foundation asks you to plant trees for America and provide for their care. Trees make a world of difference. Trees conserve energy, beautify your neighborhood, and bring songbirds close by. Every tree you plant cleans the air and leaves your mark on the earth. This year, the Arbor Day Foundation invites you to plant trees for America.
Hello, epic filmmakers. Welcome back, kids. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Actually, more than one moment will take our place because we have an exciting crew against all odds. They fought demons. They fought men. They fought tide. They fought a lot of things. Can you tell me what I've got on? That's right. It is a kung fu karate outfit, gentleman style. I can fight my way through crowds. I can fight my way through traffic. I can dodge waves in the ocean. I know, because I've done it. And now we've got this is too exciting. We have Eye of the Storm today, an action-adventure crew, masters of props, of fighting, of styles, and they're going to be with us today. In fact, I see one of them now. Actually, they're all three here. TJ Storm, won't you enter the arena, sir? Whoa! Thank you. Have a stand right there. Next, Melissa Barker. Hi. Ow. And last but not least, get up, Van Ayoset. Aren't you going to shake my hand? That's okay. And now, we have T.J. Storm. Mr. Storm, how long have you been doing your fine art? Well, first of all, what is your fine art?
My art is called Arashiru Karate, and I've been doing it for about 19 years now.
You're 19? You look like he looks young, doesn't he? It shows how it keeps you in shape. Whoa. And how long have you, tell us about your outfit, if you can do that for us.
The traditional karate gi is usually completely white. Mine is not traditional. It has a corduroy stream on the pants. My belt is very old. The legend is that you start with a white belt, and you practice and you practice and you practice until your belt becomes darker and darker and darker until it finally becomes black. Then you continue practicing until it becomes white again. It shows the circle of life.
Whoa, that is really interesting. So you didn't make this up yesterday. You know, kids, I heard that Kung Fu, is that part of what you do?
It is.
Part of Kung Fu is that the Kung Fu guys used to go to the zoo a lot. And centuries ago, they went to the zoo, and they were looking at these animals, and sometimes the animals get grumpy and going, I don't want to be at the zoo, and they get mad, you touched my food, or whatever the excuse they'd bring up, and they'd start punching each other. The snake would punch, well, kind of with snaky punches can do, and the cranes, and these experts used to say, well, he fights like a bear, and he fights like a crane, and he fights like a little snake. Isn't that true that they use the animal forms in their style?
Originally, when the martial arts were developing in China, a lot of monks went out in every different direction, and they saw all different kinds of animals. One monk saw a tiger, and he saw how low and powerful the tiger was, so he emulated the way the tiger moved. Another monk went to a different direction, and he saw a crane protecting its young away from an ape. The ape came up and tried to get the young out of the nest, and the crane spread its wings and defended it against the ape.
Wow, that was one sorry ape. Whoa, what you got next?
Well, another monk saw a snake in a tree. He tried to get near the snake, but the snake was very cunning. It kept moving constantly. And all of a sudden, it struck.
Oh, I bet that hurt too.
He fortunately lived, and he was able to learn from it.
Learning. You know, isn't there a lot to learn in the martial arts? I mean, it's just not punching and hurting each other. I heard that there's a whole philosophy behind it. Can you expound upon the philosophy, monsieur?
Of course. Well, the philosophy of the martial arts shows itself in a triangle normally. So we see mind, body, and spirit, and it all comes into one triangle. And that's what we try to live by. We try to constantly improve ourselves to have all three sides.
Wow, and you must be in physical shape. Does that help?
It helps a lot. That's the body side of the triangle. Mind, body, spirit. Body, you have to constantly train your body doing push-ups, crunches, lots of stretching, all kinds of stuff. Mind, You have to constantly study. Always, always, always study. Spirit. You have to believe in yourself. Constantly believing in yourself and constantly working on the other two sides creates the triangle.
That's beautiful. You have a way with words. You're eloquent, too. Look that one up, kids. All right. When you talked about positive attitude or good feeling about yourself, kids, that's what we're all about, is unleashing the positive good side. And Kung Fu, the martial arts, bring that out. They give you that confidence to succeed, that feeling where you are not invincible, that you maintain your humbleness. This man is incredible. He is a magnificent star, and he does a lot of action movies, but he is very humble. And I think, isn't that part of the martial arts, to not be a bully or use it wrong, but to respect yourself and others?
Well, within the way of the triangle is mind, body, spirit, and that's part of spirit. If we ever became too confident, then we'd walk around and cause trouble, but we know better because we've trained for too long. It takes a very long time to get a black belt in most places. In the style of karate I took, it took 6 years. So after training for 6 years, hard training, you learn to be humble first. You are aware of what you can do. You always try to help others with your abilities.
Oh boy, and maybe that's why they call it Eye of the Storm. The eye is very, very smooth and calm, but around it, you want to watch out of the storm. Remember some of those movies we've seen lately? Woo. All right, we have two other experts. May I step in here? And your name was Melissa Barker. Could you tell us about what you do, Melissa?
I've done karate since I was gymnastics since I was 4 years old, and I've been taking karate for about 1 year and 3 months now.
You learned that in 1 year and 3 months? Do you practice in your sleep, have a tape recorder under your pillow, and it keeps telling you to jump, 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 jump? Is that how good you got? Or do you have good instructors? And that must help.
That's a good instructor.
Wow. I'm wondering, can you do a backflip like you did before, or was that just the only time you can do it today and you're exhausted?
Sure. Yes.
That was a yes. Can we see you do that again? And don't hurt yourself, dear, because safety is so important. Ta-da! Everybody clap! That's great. So what style do you do?
Arashiru with Storm.
With Storm. Ah, the teacher, sensei, master. Oh, cool. Well, you got that good instructor we mentioned, that's for sure. Mr. Van Ayasit. Come on over here, son. I don't want to hurt you. There you go. Turn and face the crowd. He's awful shy, but don't make him angry. All right. How long have you been studying, sir?
I've been studying Arashiru for about 3 years now, and I studied Muay Thai kickboxing ever since I was 6 years old, Kung Fu now, and a little Taekwondo.
So you're kind of like a martial arts salad. That is crazy. Wow, that is really neat. Now tell me, you look like a smart, healthy young man. Why would you go around kicking boxes?
Kicking boxes? No, it's Muay Thai, the sport of Thailand, the #1 martial arts, war. It's a martial art, but it originated from warlike places. So it's kickboxing, more or less.
Oh, it's like boxing.
With kicking.
Oh, with kicking. Oh, I'm glad he told me. I wouldn't have been ready for that at all. Well, have you guys got a demonstration? You know what? TJ Storm and Eye of the Storm action crew have years of experience, 1.5 years right here, so that's years. And combined, they have almost centuries because it goes back and back and back and back so far into the eons of early martial arts. And so they're going to show us a little bit about how they use their kung fu skills in movies. And you know what? We should probably address the situation at this time. Let's move up here. Come to the light. And now, when they fight, you know, in the movies, do they really hurt each other, or does it look like that?
The most important thing in fighting for the movies is that we never actually make contact with each other, because if we did hit each other, we'd hurt each other. Anytime you hit somebody, it hurts. So we always avoid hitting somebody, and we just change the bodies and line them up with the camera a certain way so it looks like we're hitting the person, and the other person reacts as if he's been hit, but we never make contact.
Oh, whew, that's good to know. You know, I fell out of bed last night because I had a nightmare that this monster was going to get me, and well, you don't want to hear the whole story, but I fell off the bed and hit my head, and it hurt. Not just a man to get kicked in the jaw. I might lose a tooth, and I could lose an eye. Is safety a big factor in your school and in being an action hero?
Safety is the number one thing, actually. On the set, you always want to be super, super safe. We're always trying to avoid each other and make sure that we understand what each other's doing. That way we have to really communicate to each other and say, all right, are you ready? Okay, action. Boom, and then we start.
Whoa, when he says action, it bursts, doesn't it? So that's really good. Communication is so important, and that's what we want to do. Because communication between the art department, between the stunt man and the action man, between the director and on ad infinitum, that means it like goes on for a long time. Communication is so important. So I'm going to stand back and let them do their stuff. And so, kids, hold on to your seat, breathe, breathe, and keep your eyes open and also your ears. Go for it, guys and girls.
Thank you. First, we're going to show what the forms look like. We practice forms and katas in karate, so we can constantly learn. It's like an encyclopedia of moves, but it's a living encyclopedia because each person takes it with them and shows it to the next person. That's how we show, that's how martial arts have been brought down through the centuries. A long time ago, there were no videotapes and there were not a lot of books, so we have to remember lots and lots of moves. Melissa is going to show you something called small circular fist. It's one of the first forms of the Shaolin Temple. And she's going to show you what it looks like.
Excellent. Wow, that is awesome. That was really, really good. And so you've helped her learn how to do that. I think she did an excellent job. I am absolutely exhausted just by watching her. That is very good. Does that kata have a name by any chance?
That is called small circular fist.
Oh, see, I've got a great memory. All right, introduce our next guest, please.
Van has been training for a little bit longer than Melissa, so he's going to do a slightly more advanced form. It's called Shaolin 6. It's probably about the fourth form you learn if you were studying a style called Shaolin or Northern Shaolin Kung Fu.
Ooh. Awesome. And now Van. Awesome. Absolutely incredible. May I thank you? Thank you. All right, that is really great. Now, it looks like he was pretty active there for a while. Was he punching one guy about 1,200 times, or would that be maybe other victims?
Well, that's an important question, and that's a good question. They have to understand all of their moves and understand what each thing is, what direction. When they turn, they have to understand why they dip and why they come back up and why they punch. So we're going to show you now what a little bit of one form looks like, and then we're going to show you what it looks like when we're teaching it and what it would look like if we used it for real. And then we're going to show you what it would look like if we used it in a movie. We'll probably start with Melissa. She knows a small part of small circular fist, and she's going to show you the very beginning first.
Thank you, Melissa.
Good.
Excellent, excellent, Melissa.
Now, we'll show you what those moves meant and what it kind of looks like when you have another person in front of you.
Ooh, another person like a victim. Who's
Oh, no, like an attacker.
an attacker? That's even worse. Okay, let's go. Wow, so that's how that worked. I wondered what she was doing, and that really helps explain what's going on. Let's walk into the light again. And so,
Now, if you like, we can do it at movie speed and show you what it would look like if we were in a movie.
are you kidding? We like! Go for it, kids! Are you all right? We don't have a medic here. Oh, I forgot to tell you that. You don't need any ice or anything. Stitches, sutures, brain surgery? Whew, we lucked out. Remember, safety is so important. What else you got for us, Sensei?
Well, Van is going to do the same thing. This time, Melissa is going to be the attacker. He's going to do something from Shaolin 6, the beginning of Shaolin 6.
Let's begin Shaolin 6. Now, Shaolin 6 must. What happened to 1 through 5?
Actually, the Shaolin exercises are not taught in order. They're taught number 6 is first, and then number 8 comes, and number 3 comes. They're all out of order. I'm not exactly sure why. I think originally number 1 was probably taught first, second was number 2, and number 3 and number 4, and so on. But they're not in order of difficulty. So now they've reshuffled them, and they teach them in the order of difficulty instead of numerical order.
Oh, wow. Now, you mentioned Shaolin. Doesn't it have something to do with a religion?
Yeah, it's a temple built in the name of Buddhism in China. The story of how the martial arts sort of started was that there was a prince in India, which is not too far away from China, but it's separated by the Himalayas, and they're almost impossible to cross. There was a prince named Bodhidharma, and supposedly one day he reached enlightenment, and he found the right path. So he decided to give away all his princely possessions, and he gave away all his friends, and he gave away everything that he had. And
His toys?
everything. He gave away absolutely everything. And he went to go seek truth. So he decided to walk over the mountains and just seek truth. And he walked, which was considered an impossible task at the time. He walked over the Himalayas and came down into China. And he started getting followers because he'd always talk about the Eightfold Path and what truth was and all these great things. So people started listening to him and they started to follow him. Lots of monks started to come around him and he started teaching them his way. And as he taught them, he found that they couldn't concentrate for as long as he needed them to meditate for long periods of time. So he started teaching them exercises. And the exercises eventually became a way to defend themselves against bandits that would try to come and take their money or the rice or whatever they were trying to carry.
Because that's not nice.
No, it's not. And eventually, they call it Kung Fu. And then eventually, the monks spread out all over the world. And there's Tiger Style and Wing Chun, Crane, and there's all kinds of styles. And that's sort of where martial arts came from. Supposedly, the Chinese couldn't pronounce the prince's name, Bodhidharma. So instead, they said Buddha. And after he died, they kept calling him Buddha.
Wow, that's a lot to remember. You've had to tell other people that in your classes, I bet. That's an important thing to know. So when making movies, you actually don't hit the person. You make it look like they're getting hit. Mm-hmm. And could you demonstrate, let's use this camera here. Is that possible to kind of do that so to show the kids what goes on real quick?
Sure. Actually, I'll let him finish the Shaolin 6 against Melissa this time.
Perfection strikes again. Excellent, absolute. How about a hand for all of these youngsters? You too, sir. Master Sensei, Mr. Van, Miss Melissa. All right, the crowd roared. Yay! That's right, kids. They're so happy to have them. They've been in all kinds of shows. They've showed other people how to do the martial arts. They're very good people deep down inside, and they don't want to hurt anybody. But they're very, very, very how should I say this? They're very dedicated to the arts. And one of the arts is the art of Kung Fu. You can draw pictures, you can do sculptures, there are a lot of things. And it's kind of like a form of dance. They look like they're dancing, but you don't want to get in their dancer's way in this case, you know. So we're very, very glad to have them. And so do you have any movies coming up lately or that you're going to do?
We may have a television series called Privateers coming out.
Wow.
And we're currently in a movie called Once Upon a Time in China and America. Wow. And there's a lot of great things happening. We have a lot of stuff coming on the way. Survival of the Fittest, 7 Years in Shaolin, Virtual Freedom. There's lots and lots of stuff coming.
Whew. So you guys better stay in shape. You're going to be very busy. Well, kids, this is great. We're so happy to have you here today. We're going to learn a lot in the next coming shows. And so, you know, stay tuned because this is the show where you learn how to make a movie. All right. We're going to have some costume people coming in, wardrobe. We're going to have some already made ones. We're going to have a lady that shows how she does it. We're going to have people that do props. I'll show you some of my props we've done on the other shows, kind of giving you an idea. We want to show you how to make them out of just stuff that's free, cheap, and easy to get, stuff other people throw away. Can you believe it? Well, I can, but I found it, and I made some really neat things. And we're going to be talking about being a director. What is a director? We're going to show more actors and actresses and show how they do their craft, how they learn their craft, some of their funnest things to do. So kids, that's right, this is a show for you. And that's why we've named it, Hey Kids, Let's Make a Movie! Yay! Go for it. Let's see if you can just go ahead and practice. Stretch.